Hey, Lego my ego. No, you Lego my ego. Hey there YouTube, thanks for stopping by Dadlifting. I'm Heinz, back with another video. This one is a waffle review of several different waffle recipes. Now, basically anything can be waffleable. You know, does it waffle is kind of a trending topic that many people have talked about. Basically anything with baking powder that you put into a waffle maker will come out with the requisite holes that you can pour syrup into, and it'll taste good depending on the syrup and the whipped cream that you put on top. So this really can't go wrong with waffles too much if you're, not a foodie like I'm not a foodie. So there are definitely different levels of taste in terms of waffles, and I'll go through some of the differences in recipes that I've come across in the anabolic community when it comes to waffles, some simpler than others. And so yeah, we'll get right into it in a few minutes. But first, I just wanted to let you know of, what's going on in my life. So basically YouTube is probably a fourth on my list of priorities in life. As always, first is, family. So I'm coaching 3 baseball teams. It's springtime now, keeping up with the kids' obligations. There's 4 baseball teams across 2 kids, and I'm coaching 3 of them. That takes a lot of time. Eventually, I'll also take responsibility for things like cutting the grass. There's a lot of things going on around the house. So that's priority number 1. Priority number 2 is work. Full-time job that's pretty demanding in the financial field. Third is my training. I've been putting a lot of time and energy into training, and training for strength, trying to get my strength numbers up, trying to get bigger, stronger. And this week I hit PRs in the deadlift and the squat, and I was pretty excited about those, and that took a lot of time. And then a distant fourth after those things is my burgeoning YouTube, side fascination, whatever you want to call it. It's just a fun thing that I try to do every now and then. I don't want it to become too overwhelming, but that's it. So YouTube is fourth. I'll try to keep progressing with the content, but to be honest, it's not the most important thing in my life. I love the YouTube community. I love the Instagram community around the anabolic recipes and around training and fitness in general. So I definitely want to continue to be a part of it, but the video quality, may suffer here and there. I'm not the biggest, photography tech guy. I don't always get the sound quality right, the editing, things like that. So I'm just going to do the best that I can and hope you guys keep watching and keep caring about what I'm doing. I do have a couple of more, longer videos about, training and day in the life stuff. I'm going tomorrow, packing up the kids and driving to Florida. So hopefully we'll get some content around going to some amusement parks. Maybe I'll set a new step record at one of the days we go to Universal or Disney. And yeah, I'll hopefully share some fun things while on the road for spring break. But yeah, that's kind of the life update. Wanted to let you guys know where YouTube stands on that list. I love you guys and I appreciate you, but I do want you to know that you're kind of far down the list. But that being said, let's get into these waffle recipes. One thing I want to tell is a little bit about my history with waffles. I know a lot of you probably grew up with some of those mini waffles or the frozen waffles from Eggo. They were a big part of my childhood. It wasn't really a breakfast food. We had the cinnamon toast flavored mini waffles in my freezer at all times, and I would often come home from school and just pull them out of the freezer, eat one of them just straight from the freezer while the other ones were cooking in the microwave, for like 20 seconds. Then I'd slap some peanut butter on them, maybe some jelly, make these massively caloric sandwiches that obviously did not do my physique any favors. So that is all behind me. Well, except for that, I did buy a box of those for this video, and then I ate basically the entire box straight from the freezer after I hit that PR on the deadlift. So that was pretty great in terms of a cheat meal, and I probably should have filmed it, but it was magnificent. But I just can't have them in the house. They go too fast. They're too easy to eat. But we do have a waffle maker. We've been making a lot of waffles, and I'm taking the waffle maker with me to Florida. That's how much I'm into waffles right now. They're just a great way to add some volume, and then you just pour syrup all over it, and it's great. You add some protein powder. It's one of the things that has really changed the game in terms of the anabolic recipes you can make. Obviously, Remington James is a big fan. He's got 10 different waffle recipes at this point. Anyway, that's it. We're gonna get started with the most caloric, fanciest, nicest waffle on the market today, and that's the ones that Mina made. So congrats to Mina for hitting 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. He is a pro chef, does things very well in terms of creating recipes. Some of them are just a little bit above my expertise level, my ability level in terms of a chef. So let's get into it. See you guys at the next clip. Okay, jumping on here with a quick review of Mina's Waffles. So this is just a small part of the overall batch of waffles that I made. I'll show a picture of the full batch here right now. But I'm going to be reviewing waffles throughout the week. This is probably the fanciest recipe because Mina is a professional chef. So this includes a little bit of canola oil. It's 636 calories. I'll put the macros up on the screen for the whole batch. I'm just going to try one without any syrup and then one with some blueberry syrup here. Just going to do a portion of it because I'm going to go hit a workout and I'll eat the rest of them afterwards when I come back. Here we go. Let me check the taste. So they're supposed to be crisp on the outside. It's kind of his thing, and then soft on the inside. It seems like he did a really good job with it, with the recipe. Wow. I mean, waffles always look great, but not all protein waffles taste great. These got a really good texture. I'd recommend trying this recipe if you've got a few extra calories. I mean, it does have a little bit of oil in it, and the recipe as a whole, you know, is kind of bigger than a typical. It's got a few more calories than a normal recipe of protein waffles. Now we'll be dipping it into some blueberry sauce. Walden Farms blueberry syrup. Soaks it right up. Mina's Waffles, definitely awesome. More waffly than most other waffles that I've tried, if that makes any sense. Really good recipe, Mina. Thanks a lot for sharing, and I will see you guys on the next update, the next time I break out the waffle maker. Hey guys, update. It's a few days later and I've made some more waffles. So these are Remington James waffles made with yogurt and sort of pre-made waffle mix. And these are more egg white and applesauce based waffles. So between the two of them, and I'll show the different recipes and links to the different videos. He's got two different waffle recipes. This one I used the Power Cakes, Kodiak Cakes or whatever, you know, chocolate chip and some chocolate protein. These I used vanilla protein and some applesauce. So they're a little bit different. This one is thicker in both the mix and also what comes out as a result. These are a little bit sort of airier, you know, lighter, and the mix was very liquidy, pouring it on. And they both taste fine. I'm gonna try one each on camera here. They're now circle waffles because I got a smaller waffle maker because we're so into waffles. So since the last video segment when I made the square waffles from Mina's recipe, I have gotten another waffle maker. So this one is the yogurt and waffle mix based one. This one is the applesauce based one. If you look at them, pretty similar, made on the same waffle maker. I'm gonna try them. Definitely this one tastes better. It's a little thicker, more bready, you know, more consistency that looks like it would soak some things up if we were to put some syrup on it. So keep that in mind. This one has more of an eggy flavor. Not as much there, you know, there's not as much stuff going on there when you actually bite into it. Maybe more air. Both these recipes come out to about 450, 500 calories, which is maybe 100, 150 calories less than Mina's recipe, which requires you to put some oil in there. And I think if you're gonna make waffles, probably wanna go with the recipe that Mina has to make them taste a little bit better, make them more waffle-like, even at the cost of an extra 100, 150 calories. But if you're in a pinch, these recipes provide quite a bit of volume. The Remington James recipes, they do provide quite a bit of volume. They are, you know, fluffy enough, pancake-like enough that they'll get the job done. So that's the update. I'm gonna come back with one more bonus recipe that's only 179 calories and a lot of protein. It's pretty interesting, but I'll show you that. It's gonna taste even less waffle-like. But I'll be back with that part. In the meantime, I'm gonna crush the rest of these waffles. Probably gonna go add some syrup and maybe some whipped cream. Alright guys, another day, another waffle recipe. This is the 4th waffle recipe that I'll be trying in this video. This one is the most anabolic, so this is all you get. This is 358 calories. Most anabolic and worst tasting of the 4. But if you're like me, this recipe is valuable because you don't really care too much about how things taste. You care more about volume and sort of ability to soak up something like syrup. So I got some strawberry Walden Farms. I'm gonna pour it on here and we'll give it a shot. This recipe is super simple. It's like a blend of whey and casein and a single egg. I did double the recipe, so a single waffle recipe with 1 egg, some protein powder and some baking powder. That is less than 200 calories. It's like 179 calories. I doubled that, so that's 358 calories. I'll show the macros, I'll show the recipe in the link in the description below. But I got this recipe from Travis S. He's a YouTuber that does short recipe videos occasionally. This one is from like 4 years ago. I don't even know if he uploads anymore, but when you search for protein waffles on YouTube, this comes up. So he's also got some good sort of mug cake recipes and things, some hacks out there. But yeah, let's try it. I got 2 big waffles and then 1 little bitty waffle. So let's try the little bitty one. Won't be as fluffy because there's no flour in it. And yeah, it's just protein powder and an egg. But you know what? Gets the job done. Doesn't have yogurt, doesn't have applesauce, doesn't have oil, fancy stuff like Mina uses. This is gonna get the job done on most days. I mean, it looks like a waffle. Sort of tastes like one. Sometimes that's good enough. So each of these waffle recipes has its place in sort of your anabolic lineup in your playbook. So if you're feeling like you want to really have a good tasting waffle, you might go with Mina's waffles. If you're feeling like you want something in the middle, go with one of Remington's recipes, especially one that you can sort of meal prep over time and it's going to turn out okay a few days later. And if you want a quick waffle recipe that you're going to eat immediately because they don't go well if you've let them sit for a while, then you go with this one from Travis S. So you got a different recipe for every day of the week. So whether you're just trying to meet that special someone, like in 50 First Dates, you're trying to have a meet cute over some waffles, or maybe you're trying to recharge at a sort of post-wedding party that you're crashing and you need to recharge and get some calories in you before you go and you know, try to deal with some crazy woman who's basically attacking your balls. So I'm gonna finish these waffles and that's gonna have to do it. I mean, I feel like I ranked the different waffles. My favorite probably is this one, just because it's so easy to make and I'm pretty lazy. And other than that, I do like the Mina Waffles if I'm trying to impress someone with a tasty waffle. But I'm never really trying to impress anyone. It's usually just myself. But it was fun to make those as well. So yeah, get out there, try some waffles. Let me know if you have found a better waffle recipe than mine. I'm sure Remington's come out with like 15 different variations of his waffle recipes. And that's great. You know, if you like a red waffle, or maybe you had to have a green waffle because it was St. Patrick's Day, that's great. More power to you. I'm just gonna stick with plain simple waffles, but I am really enjoying the waffle makers. I would recommend getting the the one that I got, the Dash waffle maker from Amazon. That one's like 20 bucks for a simple single waffle maker. And then you can even get smaller ones that are like $9.99. I've seen a few YouTubers use those. Those are fine. I would not recommend this sandwich press waffle thing. It's just too much. But it can be fun. It has a nice timer on it and things like that. It has a few bells and whistles. But for travel, when we go to spring break, we're bringing our Dash waffle maker. So if that's not an endorsement, I don't know what is. We're bringing that and a Ninja blender and a bunch of other stuff. But that's a story for another video. Thank you guys for sticking with this one. Hope you like the intro. Hope you like some of the waffle recipes. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. In the meantime, keep it on the DL.